Hello, Professor. These are my findings in relation to the article Teaching English as a Foreign Language Through Literature. I will briefly explain it using a slide a presentation with my analysis. This article presents evidence that literature for children can be effectively used to acquire English as a foreign language in students of all ages. That's why the article gives special importance that an early exposure to language experience during the beginning of years of life can determine the success in language acquisition. Students will increase their level of comprehension if they are challenged beyond their level of expertise. Also, having a rich experience in language is essential for this success. For instance, listening to Polish reading contributes not only to master English but to develop vocabulary. There are important aspects when we review literature, and these aspects are qualities of children's literature, comprehensible input, and early foreign language scholars. I will refer to these three important aspects. The first one, the quality in children's literature, should have in consideration or should be taking into account the three following aspects. Should be child-centered, which means that the child has to be the protagonist of the center of the attention. Should have a simple setting. Should be vivid and use concrete language. Now, in relation to the comprehensible input, is divided into two important aspects. And the reason for this is that the way children go about learning new aspects of the recently acquired language is different. Each child undergoing complex processes is explained by several scholars. And the language acquisition and the language learning crashing clarifies these fundamental differences between these two cognitive functions of language. It states that language acquisition focuses on comprehension of language, understanding the entirety of such. On the other hand, language learning focuses on the rules of grammar, which produce correct speech. In this case, as we see here in the presentation, both are necessarily and both are only achievable through a consistent exposure of the second language. I have previously mentioned what Krashen had stated. I'm going to refer myself to the next scholar, Quintillian. He used several methods, which were read aloud. He read in front of students fables, and then he will ask students to retell the fable in their own words. Later, the students were made to write the fables. The students also listened to poetry and then they paraphrase it into prose. So he thought that one acquires the language by hearing and reading. The next scholar was Erasmus. He had four way of thinking and to see literature. He thought that rules of usage derive from examination of the actual language as it is spoken, that the rules of grammar should be taught only after they have been acquired intuitively by reading. Also, that grammar rules should be accompanied by many examples. And the last one was the use of pictures. He thought that it was really relevant to use pictures and that they should be used to illustrate new material. He thought that it was really fundamental also the use of visual aids. Now, the last scholar that I have is Comenius, Johannes Amos Comenius. He thought that the importance, what was really important, it was the students' background knowledge. He also urged teachers to present not just one meaning, but also multiple common meanings. Comenius wrote textbooks that were compatible with his instructional methods, which is the Orbis Pictus. I would like to refer myself to the applications that are the following. The story selection is really important, the interest of the person is essential and motivational. Listening helps also to develop vocabulary and to make predictions. Share reading, students that are able to summarize their reading. Independent reading is really important, that students recognize 90% of the words and they comprehend 90% of the passage. And last, drama. Four important points that I think students really and truly enjoyed and they learned from those methods, which is story theater, creative drama, role play, and readers theater. As a review and conclusion, I thought that these two aspects that I have stated here in my presentation are really important, and I can conclude with what I call the dynamic duo, which is meaningful teaching and quality literature for children. I really enjoyed the reading, and I hope you enjoy the presentation. Thank you.